We have the Carolina Panthers taking on the New York Giants. This is your Week 10 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Also hit the like button. Let's start off with the Carolina Panthers, not because they're the home team, but because this game is Germany. It's one of those early games. So if you're a fan of the Carolina Panthers or the New York Giants, you may want to wake up early to watch this game. But when you look at what happened last week with the Carolina Panthers, they finally won another game this season. They went out there, they defeated the New Orleans Saints 23-22. And you look on the day, Bryce Young, 16-26, 171 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. For context here, the 1 interception was not on Bryce Young. He throws a legit dot to the sideline to Xavier Legette. The corner comes out of nowhere, takes the ball from Xavier Legette. Bryce Young plays safe and efficient football last week, and that's what you want to do in this game against the New York Giants. The New York Giants have a top passing defense in the NFL. Rushing defense, they're at the bottom of the league. They're not like the Carolina Panthers defense bad in terms of stopping the run, but they have been able to stop the run consistently this season. Lucky for the Carolina Panthers, they have Chuba Hubbard, who is 5th in rushing yards this season as I record this video. You have to run the offense through Chuba Hubbard and continue to dink and dunk your way down the field with Bryce Young. Do not put the football in harm's way. That means that you would give the New York Giants more opportunities to go out there and score with Daniel Jones. And even though the Carolina Panthers defense looked solid last week at times, this defense is still bad on the season. So you still want to go out there and help out your defense, run the football, and make sure that you put Bryce Young in the best situations possible. When I look at this offensive line, the Carolina Panthers, this is a top offensive line in the NFL. They're missing their big center in Austin Corbett. He's been out the last couple weeks. He's going to be out for the rest of this season. But you still have Icky at the left tackle position, Damian Lewis at the left guard position, Robert Hunt at the right guard position, Brady Christensen at the center position, and Taylor Moton at the right tackle position. That's why you went out there and you brought in those 2 big guards to run the football and to take care of Bryce Young. You want to overwhelm the New York Giants and work off of play action in this game and get the football to Jalen Coker and to Xavier Legette as well. And speaking of Chuba Hubbard, the man averaged 5 yards a carry last week for 72 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and he had 15 carries on the day. Bump that up to 20 carries in this game. Feature him more in this offense and get him going in the receiving game as well. Javonte Sanders, this man was the leading wide receiver last week. He went out there at tight end position and had 87 receiving yards on the day with 4 catches. Get him going in the red zone situations and get him going as a vertical threat. Jalen Coker has been phenomenal since he's been out there and since he's become a starting wide receiver. Adam Thielen is still out. You traded Deontay Johnson, but you still have Jalen Coker and you have Xavier Legette as well. And don't sleep on David Moore. He had 2 catches for 20 yards. Offensively, just take care of Bryce Young. Let him work through his progressions. He's still developing as a quarterback in the NFL, and be patient. Don't put the football in harm's way. Take your deep shots here and there, but be careful doing that because the New York Giants, they want the opposing team to pass. That's when Dexter Lawrence can come after you. And that's another thing as well. Double team him as much as possible. They also have Brian Burns as well, who is a former player with the Carolina Panthers. This may be a revenge game for him. He was drafted by the Carolina Panthers. They traded him to the New York Giants for a 2nd and a 5th round pick. But I like the offense of the Carolina Panthers to come out and just establish that run game and take care of Bryce Young. Defensively, they harassed Derek Carr. They did not do a good job of stopping the run because Alvin Kamara had 155 rushing yards on the day. And yes, they only had 1 sack against Derek Carr, but they put the New Orleans Saints into tough situations over and over again. Last week, this team was outgained in every single category, but yet they still won the football game. And that basically got Dennis Allen fired. In this game against Daniel Jones, stop the run game and make sure you have J.C. Horn surrounding Malik Neighbors for the entire game. And make sure that you have a single high safety over top as well. Daniel Jones has been taking a lot of deep shots down the field now to guys like Malik Neighbors, to Darius Slayton as well. You have to be careful with that. And also put up a spy here and there. Daniel Jones is a sneaky, athletic quarterback that has solid mobility at times. I'm looking at a guy like Jadeveon Clowney to go out there and to continue to try to just put pressure on the opposing quarterback. Charles Harris as well. Charles Harris on the season has 3 sacks. Trayvon Wallace has been up and down this season. He's a rookie. Pay attention to him in the interior linebacking spot. You have Josie Jewell as well, who is a veteran. He's been around the NFL for a couple of years now. He should have a solid outing in this game as well. When you look at the secondary, besides J.C. Horn and besides Xavier Woods at the free safety position, they're going to need other guys to step up. Michael Jackson at the number 2 cornerback position, and also Smith Wade as well, playing inside that slot. Those guys are going to have to step up and give you good production because, yes, the New York Giants offensive line is struggling right now since Andrew Thomas has been out the last couple of weeks. I still worry about the pass rush for the Carolina Panthers in this game. And DJ Wonnum is still not available to play. He hasn't played all season long, and that does suck, but you have Jadeveon Clowney, you have Charles Harris. Put that pressure on Daniel Jones and make sure that you stop the rushing attack with the New York Giants. Tracy Jr. has been a very good running back this season. He's one of the most underrated players in the NFL. Make sure you can cover him out the backfield and make sure you can stop the run game early in this game. I'm not saying go out there and fully stack the box because Daniel Jones is competent enough to go out there and throw the football over your head. But if you can harass Daniel Jones and limit those big rushing gains for their running back and for Daniel Jones as well, the Carolina Panthers could be in a very good situation. Now let's talk about the New York Giants. It's been tough sledding over the last couple of weeks. Last week, they were coming off a very tough loss against the Washington Commanders, 27-22. Daniel Jones was efficient on the day. 20 of 26, 174 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He got sacked twice. Like I mentioned before, the offensive line has not been the same since Andrew Thomas has went out, so they're dinking and dunking their way down the field. At halftime, Daniel Jones was 4 of 6 for 0 passing yards. You cannot have that in this game. Get the offense going early and start off by using Daniel Jones' mobility and get the run game going as well. The Carolina Panthers have the worst rushing defense in the NFL. This should be the game that Tyrone Tracy Jr. goes out there and he gets things going. Only had 66 rushing yards last week, average 4 yards a carry. But Daniel Jones, 54 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and he did have a fumble as well. Take care of the football and go out there and run the football as much as possible and feed Malik Neighbors in this game. Daniel Jones has been inaccurate at times. Clean up the accuracy. Make sure you keep the pocket clean for him as well. And when you run the football, use some motion. Get the tight ends involved. Brian Dable has struggled to do this on a consistent basis, but when he has gotten the tight end involved, he gives him good production. You look at what Theo Johnson was able to do last week. He had 3 catches for 51 receiving yards on the day and 1 receiving touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 59 receiving yards on the day. Wan'Dale Robinson only had 10 receiving yards. Get these guys open. Use them in space. Get creative and try to get those guys to get into situations to where the Carolina Panthers have to make tackles in space. Darius Slayton is questionable for this game, but also use Jalen Hyatt more as well as a deep threat. Use him as a decoy so guys underneath can get the football. And I'm talking about the tight end in this situation as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how this offensive line is going to look against the Carolina Panthers. If the Carolina Panthers cannot get pressure on Daniel Jones, this could be easy sledding for the New York Giants. But do not overlook the Carolina Panthers. This could be a trap game for the New York Giants, just like how it was last week with the New Orleans Saints. And I understand the Carolina Panthers had an advantage in that game because they're division rivals, but at the same time, they're playing with their heart in their sleeve. For Dave Canales and Bryce Young, he's starting to build that confidence. You saw how he was looking at the end of the game last week. Be careful in this matchup. When I look at the defense for the New York Giants, this is their strong suit. Like I mentioned before, their pass rush has been very good. Kayvon Thibodeau is still out dealing with a wrist injury, but you have Dexter Lawrence. He's second in leading the league in sacks, 9 sacks on the season. Get that interior pressure on Bryce Young. Harass him. We saw what happened his rookie season when he doesn't have enough time in the pocket and when he gets hit repeatedly, the accuracy diminishes over time. You want to put a body on Bryce Young as much as possible, and you want to make sure that he cannot fully see the field. And I'm not saying that because of his height. I'm saying you stop the run game and you don't fall for the motion plays. Make them pass the football repeatedly because, yes, they have Jalen Coker and they have Xavier Legette. They're very thin at that wide receiving spot in terms of depth. So force them to go out there and throw the football as much as possible so Dexter Lawrence can pin his ears back and he can get after the quarterback. This should be a key game for Brian Burns. 5 sacks on the season, 1 forced fumble. Has been a very good pass rusher in my opinion this season, but he hasn't been that elite level pass rusher just yet. This could be the game that he goes against his former team and he's looking for revenge. Go out there and play with your heart on your sleeve. Neither team has much to lose. These are some of the worst teams in the NFL. Let's be honest here. But at the same time, this could be a very exciting game, depending on if you are a fan of the Carolina Panthers or the New York Giants. I'm also looking at Bobby Okereke in the interior linebacking room. And when I look at this secondary, Deonte Banks, he got benched a couple of weeks ago against the Steelers when he got hurdled against Najee Harris. has to go out there and play with more effort. And that's the one thing that Brian Dable is coaching right now with this kid. And that's the one thing that he's preaching right now with Deonte Banks. And I still like Deonte Banks, by the way. They were able to keep Azeez Ojulari 6 sacks on the season. There were a lot of talks about him at the trade deadline. Would they trade him? Would they keep him? He's a very good pass rusher in his own right as well. You have to go back there, put the pressure on Bryce Young, play that press man coverage, take away Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette, and force Bryce Young to fully read the field. With that being said, I do have the New York Giants winning this game, and I have the New York Giants winning this game 24-14. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you have winning this game, the New York Giants or the Carolina Panthers? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.